Hello there. My name is Moy with my co-host Corey. We are The Real Guys, and this is The Real Show with 2 E's. We are coming to you to review a story from a galaxy far, far away. As always, I'm calling my co-host Corey. How are you doing today, Corey?
I'm doing very well, thank you.
What are we going to bring to the listener on this fine morning?
So, today, we're doing Andor.
Yes.
For the second time.
Star Wars Andor for the second time on Disney+.
It's finished now.
We reviewed the first episode.
First
3 episodes.
Or 3, yeah.
Yeah, because they released in a 3 because it was delayed. And we reviewed the first 3 episodes as kind of a season premiere, series premiere review.
Yep.
Now it's finished. All 12 episodes are done.
All 12.
And we're going to talk about what we liked, what we didn't like, what we see for the future of Andor.
I mean,
what happened in the series.
This is, I think, unless I'm mistaken, the biggest, as in terms of like episode series we've done. So it's going to be a very much a condensed, quickly, this is what we like, this was good, this was bad, series 2.
Go over our pros and cons.
Yeah, non-linear. Kind of just,
and then finish it out with a rating and a weekly rec. You love to see it, folks. You love to see it.
Yes.
But if you can listen to and watch this program, you're watching us on YouTube or listening on Amazon, Spotify, Google Podcasts, anywhere you get your podcasts, we're there. You can listen to us. We're pretty good, I think.
We're up there.
We're coming into our stride. We're stepping into December. We're coming right in with Andor.
Nobody can break our stride. Nobody can hold us down.
Seasonal treat, I'd say, for Andor. Yes. Coming in from that holiday season.
Exactly.
With Andor. Was there a snow planet in there? I think Narkina 5 had some snow on it.
There you go.
Exactly.
Star Wars, not a very snowy
no, we're not getting into the holiday special, not this year.
This is half.
This is,
no other snow.
There's snow on Kajimi in Rise of Skywalker.
Okay.
And on Starkiller Base.
Okay, yeah.
Snow planet, another snow planet. Ilum. Did you play Fallen Order?
Yes, I did. I forgot about Ilum.
Yeah, did you like Fallen Order? That's Snow Planet, Ilum. There's loads of snow planets. I love the Star Wars aesthetic of only one planet can have one biosphere on it. Yeah. You get jungle, you get sand, you get water.
Too much sand, some would argue.
Yeah, too much sand. It's coarse, rough, and irritating, and it gets everywhere.
Yes.
Back to Andor.
Yep.
Back to Andor. This 12 episodes, not miniseries, full season. Focuses on the burgeoning start of the Rebel Alliance and the journey of one Cassian Andor.
Correct.
From his home planet of Not Fest.
Yes.
It's... Oh, goodness. It's not Fest. It's not Fest anymore.
No, it's not Fest.
It was Fest. You put Fest. It's not Fest. It's not Ferrix either.
No, it's...
It's Canary.
Yes.
Thank you. My memory serves me.
Yes.
Canary. It's born on Canary, adopted by Marva, and taken back to Ferrix.
Correct.
Where we see that we're on Ferrix for quite a while. It's as a invasive planet where all the events happen around. Due to the incompetence of Corsec Security, Preox Milana Security Corporation, 2 workers are killed by Andor. One of them by accident, one of them is shot.
Yes.
Then Sarul Khan, the very dedicated police officer, overestimates the abilities of Cassian Andor, gets all of his squad injured and the speeders blown up. Andor escapes with the mysterious Luthen rail and heads into the wider galaxy.
You see, this is what I like about Andor is right at the start, you have the whole thing of like the 2 people get shot.
Yeah.
Right? Cassian kills one of them on purpose, doesn't the other one?
Yeah.
And
a lot of morally grey lines is what Corey's referring to. This is a very human story here.
If this was like any other Star Wars thing, you would have glanced over it. If this happened in A New Hope, it's normal. Normal occurrence, it just doesn't matter. But I like the fact this is almost like street level. Very low level. Like, we're going to take over the Empire, but there's like 5 of us.
Yeah.
And that's it.
The classic line from Rogue One, make 10 men feel like 100.
Yes.
It's said by Cassian, in fact.
Yes, because there's a part in the 4th episode.
The Aldani, where they go to the Aldani job.
Just gets to like, he meets, I forgot her name.
Val.
And they get to the camp, and there's literally like 5 people.
Yeah, there's 5 people.
It's like 5 people.
Nemik, the young sort of Marxist rebel who has his manifesto.
Yeah.
The former stormtrooper, Skeen, who's the sort of rogue, and Vel's, I want to say girlfriend.
Maybe.
They implied that they had a relationship with each other.
Yeah.
Which honestly, throw more of that. I want to see more of that.
Because you hear about it's like, oh, yeah, this guy's he's got a plan. He knows what he's doing. He wants Cassian Andor. He can fit in, and there's 5 people.
It's 5 people exactly. Even Cassian says that because he's dropped off by Luthen.
Yeah.
On Aldhani, where they're going to rob an Imperial payroll from an Imperial base.
Yes.
And those TIE fighters, man, are they scary? They really up there. Sometimes when you're in Star Wars, you see a TIE fighter, like, oh, whatever, you'll destroy it in one shot. It's fine. Poe Dameron mows down like 50 of them in Force Awakens. But these TIE fighters are scary. They buzz the farmers. They're flying by. They're really scary. You hear about, they don't want to send in the fighters, send in the TIE fighters. And you see them drop from that Alkenzi airbase and fly out. And you're like, they're so terrifying. They really made the Empire feel like a threat in this, an active threat.
You see, that's the bonus of having characters that are essentially street-level, normal human beings. And aren't like Jedi who can take a beating or have force power. These are just people that can just at any point be completely wiped out. And so the Empire and a single TIE fighter is going to be a massive threat.
Yeah. Spoilers, by the way. Spoilers for Andor. We are about to say something. Well, no, I'm about to say more things. Well, Nemik is crushed by a box.
Yeah.
And that's as brutal as you can get. Because you expect, oh, good, they get on the transport. Their job is complete.
Yes.
Lieutenant Gorn is killed in the fighting, who was their sort of inside man on the job. I didn't even see that he died. I didn't see that until I watched the review episode afterwards and realized, oh yeah, he wasn't on the shuttle. He was shot.
It's one of those things that, again, Star Wars rarely does it, where you have these people that...
Yeah, when they pull no punches, it is...
And again, it cuts back to Rogue One, being that there's always new people, but already like hitting it off great, and then they all just die at the end of Rogue One.
That was a gutsy move,
That was a very gutsy move.
And this is probably even more so. This is ramped up.
Yeah.
To where they said there'd be Tony Gilroy has said many times that he's not very interested in Star Wars.
No.
He doesn't know about the Clone Wars, doesn't know about anything. All of Luthen's shop was apparently the work of other people who just put in Easter eggs that he wasn't even catching.
Yeah.
And up to the point where people were theorizing that Luthen was a Jedi because he had, like, Padme's headdress.
Yeah.
And he had a Jedi Temple guard mask. And he had the you know about Mortis from the Clone Wars?
Yes.
He had the Mortis sort of stone tablets. And I was like, oh, wow, I wonder if Luthen's like a Jedi in hiding. No, he's not. Tony Gilroy just doesn't know Star Wars and lets people get away with all these Easter eggs.
See, that's the other thing about Andor, which is great. Is there's
very little in terms of obvious fan service. Like Cad Bane isn't in it and stuff like that, things like that. But it's little.
If someone goes right, okay, explain set pieces in Star Wars, you're gonna go lightsabers, clones, troopers, and it's like none of that. But it's it's all just people, guns, and
we don't get stormtroopers till the last episode.
That's what I mean.
We don't get a stormtrooper. Well, they appear, but they don't do any active fighting until the last episode.
Yeah, it's like there's no. It's like if in real life there's like imagine stormtroopers like the SWAT team.
Yeah.
You don't get that. You just get like your local police force.
Exactly. You get your Bobby. You get your local Bobby. Exactly. And that's what this is.
Yeah.
You get just your Imperial Army troopers and your grunts kind of, because stormtroopers were meant to be the elite force of the Empire. So we don't get them until later on in the series when things get serious.
Because also if Cassian was facing up against, they will be wiped out.
Yeah.
They'll have no chance.
And even it's usually a big thing like that guy. I forget his name, but the big guy in the heist, the Aldhani heist. And Andor's like, why are you so good at all these practice army drills? Why are you good at holding a blaster really well? And Vel says, he used to be a stormtrooper.
Yeah.
And that's built up like, wow, this guy's like, that's that guy. That's like having a SEAL Marine Team 6 guy on your heist squad, you know?
Yeah. But SAS.
SAS, dude, yeah, it's like building that up. That's why he's really good. And unfortunately, he gets shot in the fighting as well and doesn't make it out of that.
I mean, to be fair, everyone from like this is probably dead.
They escape the Aldhani heist, managing to pull it off. Meanwhile, on Coruscant, great return to the capital of Coruscant.
Coruscant is becoming a thing currently.
Is it?
I know it's an important place. But
No, I will never get sick of Coruscant. I'm sorry, Coruscant is not Tatooine, and I will not hear about it. I will never get sick of Coruscant, because at least Coruscant is more than looking at a barren desert.
Well, yeah, but it's true.
And sand for hours and hours. Coruscant, you've got vast cityscapes, you've got the seedy underbelly, you've got even though we're always on surface of the surface of Coruscant. But they've got the Senate building, the Imperial Senate's in this. Mon Mothma, played by Geneva O'Reilly, does an amazing performance as this sort of politician with things to hide, with skeletons in the closet. She's trying to keep away this rebel alliance and build up more funds and get more money for it, but sort of secretly. And everyone's talking about when Palpatine keeps passing stuff in the Senate to try and suppress rebel activity.
Yes.
Including something that's mentioned a lot called PORD,
Yep.
which is the Public Order Resentencing Directive, which means that any criminal in the Empire, anyone who commits a crime, can be subjugated to far worse far worse prison sentence than was originally done.
Yes. This is also the other thing I like about Andor is the fact that when it comes to the kind of Imperial side of things, it's not all just like 50 ships, big battles. It's very much like there's a lot of paperwork, a lot of thinking, a lot of planning, a lot of kind of
sitting in a meeting room and talking about, well, he's done this and then he's done this. Oh, we could do this. Oh no, would they see that coming though? Oh, we might do something. Oh, we could do this and then let them think we've done. Oh, right, okay, we'll do this. Okay, and then Major Partagaz stands up and goes, "Good meeting, everyone. Same time next week. Well done. Thank you for the good thoughts today, folks. Let's all dismissed."
It's a lot of tactics. I like that.
Yeah, a lot of tactical plays. A lot of like, it's almost like a World War II war room film.
Yes.
In a way, a war room sort of thriller.
Yeah.
Especially with, I got hyped every single time they showed that ISB building, because I love Imperial office politics and Imperial office politicking. Like, I know every word to that Death Star meeting room scene in Episode 4. Probably because I love talking, but apart from that, and I like Major Podcast as well as Anton Lesser from Game of Thrones and Dedra Miro, who does great. That's Denise Gu. She does a great job as well.
Yep.
She does a nice interview with Carl Soller, who plays Cyril Khan, when they sat together, and she goes over how sort of her very Star Wars lines.
Yes.
She talks about needing a lot of technology and information, and how it's hard to sort of learn those lines in the script, and just to get it to the rhythm where because Dedra Miro is very straight talking, very not necessarily by the book, but she's a very staunch Imperial supporter, and she believes in her work.
Yes.
And she believes in finding Cassian Andor and getting justice.
Yep. There's a lot of that in this.
And glory for the Empire, but she mentions that as well, sorry to cut you off, and she mentions as well that power can corrupt women as much as it corrupts men.
Yep.
She says that the Empire is technically a fascist dictatorship, and, you know, as much as they've got the cool ships and the cool gear and the cool suits of armor, that they are the antagonistic force, and they believe in a brutal regime which subjugates people and relies on extermination and eradication of rebel forces.
Yeah, there's a lot of people in this as well that are like, you can tell that they're doing things for like a good reason, but also like again in the second episode you see like Bix's, I can't remember his name, her partner, who is like, I don't like
Tim.
Yeah.
Tim with 2 M's.
Yes. I don't like Cassian, so I'm gonna like tell all these people that he's here.
He told the Corsac that he's there,
and then that ends up in like
he gets shot. Yeah.
And they end up in more trouble now because now they know where Cassian is, and now Bix is roped up into it. Exactly. And it's like, but you can tell why he's doing it, but also it's a bit ridiculous.
Yeah.
A lot of his characters are like, you have good intentions, but also I don't know, and it's good.
Exactly, it's where those intentions go. I feel like it's where those intentions go.
I like having a series where you can debate whether or not someone is a good person or not.
Exactly, and that feels the
same. But both sides are correct.
Like, is Dedra Miro just doing her job? Yeah. Does she believe in the safety and security of the Empire, or does she believe in some sort of sadistic need for more power and more status? That's what I always like to debate that when I was watching the show as well. Even during those little scenes of her and what's his name? Lieutenant Blevin, who's played by Doc. We know who we know as Doc Brown or Ben Bailey Smith. You know, Doc Brown is a quite famous British comedian. Yeah. If you recognised him, there's a nice article on StarWars.com with him and Andy Serkis talking about how much Star Wars roles mean to them and how much roles in Star Wars mean to them. Yeah. But I like those little scenes where they're just having a back and forth bicker. And like, wow, this is establishing of what they actually want. Does Blevin want to actually one up Miro? Does Miro want to kind of do an underhand play? It's like sword fighting, but with words. Yes. The same thing with Luthen and Mon Mothma whenever they meet in the shop. And Luthen's always doing the double entendre of, would you like this particular item? And Mon Mothma goes, well, perhaps not today. Maybe this other item I'd like. She says, well, this item's very expensive. You wouldn't like this item. Yeah. You might like this item that's more your speed, more what you like. And she's like, oh, I don't know. Oh, this is a very dangerous item that I'm getting. And they do it. It's between. I don't know what her name is. Is her name Lyra? I'm not sure.
Maybe.
Luthen's assistant in the shop.
Yes.
They have a conversation in the finale, I think, over the communicator, where it's all that. where it's all like, the offer is going to expire soon. Do you think the offer will be open for any longer? We might want to search for a new offer, a new item of interest, something like that.
Yeah.
And you know what they're talking about. They're talking about Cassian. And they think, can we find Cassian in time? Do we need to kill Cassian? It's that kind of almost spy in code talk, which I love, because it really helps not only the realism of the world feel better, like, the screws and the bricks, but also the bigger stuff than like little details, like, wow, this is how the rebellions operate in this way, which leads us to Ferrix,
correct,
and Marva Andor and Brassa, which is Cassian's friends and adoptive mother. Marva is played by Fiona Shaw, who people know from Killing Eve. She's a fantastic actress and really carries the weight of scenes.
The cast for this is really good.
Stellar, really amazing.
Good.
To go to another fantastic cast member,
okay.
Andor is arrested for his crimes on Aldhani.
Yes, he is.
He's not actually. He's arrested for lurking on a beach. And he runs from a shore trooper that's voiced by Sam Witwer.
Yeah.
Who voices Darth Maul in the Clone Wars. Did you know
that? I knew he voiced him in the Clone Wars. I did not know he voiced the...
He voiced the shore trooper that arrests Cassian.
Oh, very nice.
For lurking. Not even for Aldhani, just for lurking around. And he gets arrested by KX droid from Rogue One, which many people know as K2SO. Not the K2SO, who was appearing in Season 2.
No.
Just a random KX droid.
Yes.
Arrested, and thanks to PORD, sentenced to 6 years in Narkina 5.
Yep.
Sent to a prison with floors where you have to take your shoes off because they need your feet on the floor. And there we get the infamous phrase is born here. Say it with me, Corey. On program.
Yes. It's...
What were you going to say?
I don't know.
You're not going to say on program?
I remember that bit, but I'm not as good as quotes with you.
Okay.
But it's just Star Wars, isn't it?
The infamous phrase... On program is born.
It's just Star Wars, isn't it?
Where prisoners have to stand up, turn your back, and put your hands on your head, feet on the floor.
It's
on program. And that's where we meet Kino Loy, who's played by...
Oh, God, what's his name?
Andy Serkis.
Thank you.
Everyone loves Andy Serkis. I certainly do.
Guy who...
Caesar from Planet of the Apes.
Correct.
Supreme Leader Snoke.
Gollum,
very famously in Lord of the Rings. Everyone loves and everyone knows Andy Serkis. Correct. I gasped when they kept his face. I think I recognised his voice when he started talking. I'm like, is that Andy? Is that Andy Serkis? And they showed his face and I'm like, wow, they got him. They got Andy Serkis. And he kills it. As
he's great.
Loy. He's absolutely fantastic. He plays such an... The thing is, he describes motion capture as the hardest form of acting.
Yes.
The fact that your face will not be on screen.
Yes.
And you have to emote through your facial expression and through the technology of motion capture, where you can give an emotional performance as a chimp,
yes,
as a dinosaur, as a lizard man, as a little whatever golem, a little deranged little hobbit, right? Whatever Gollum's turned into.
Yeah.
You have to give that performance anyway, and the motion capture really aids you in that and also brings out your talent as an actor. That's why Andy Serkis is so good at this. So good at wordless acting. He's not saying anything, but you can see it in his face when they're in the prison and they're sentenced to make these sort of giant cogs.
Yes.
And it's a competition. There's 7 levels, 7 tables on each room, and there's 7 men on each station. And there's 7 stations. And it's like a competition. It's kind of like a bit of like Squid Game.
Yeah, see, that's kind of what popped in my head.
It's a bit of THX 1138, which was George Lucas's first film. Also, that's the reference to the budget for THX 1138, which was $7,777 or some number with loads of sevens in it.
Yeah.
That was the budget for THX, and it's basically based off THX and a bit of sort of dystopian sci-fi prison worlds.
Yeah, you know what?
All a big competition.
I don't mind that because it's a decent way of adding a little bit of tension, a little bit of just them kind of, they're powerless to being. It's nice. Yeah. It's good.
There we meet not only Rushkot Melshi, which you will know from Rogue One.
Correct.
Remember Melshi, the sergeant in the rebellion?
I've not seen Rogue One since we reviewed it.
Okay. Killed by the Death Troopers. He's kind of Cassian's friend.
2 years ago.
Did you recognise Melshi, though?
I knew her face from somewhere.
His face?
Sorry. I knew his face from somewhere. But when I sat there and I thought, well, if I know the face, I either just know the actor or...
Duncan Powell.
Because they're in Star Wars.
Yeah,
because
they're in
here.
Rogue One.
They're probably in Star Wars already.
Funny, because Melshi's character didn't exist in the original Rogue One. He was written in for the reshoots. because they didn't have a clear enough rebel supporting character who could actually lead the men on the ground. Because, while Jin and while Baze and Chirrut and Bodhi were all doing the master switch thing, no one was sort of leading the troops in planting the bombs or whatever.
Yep.
So that felt he was recast, and eventually we got Melshi from the reshoots, which was nice. And now Melshi's in this.
Yep.
Only for a couple episodes, but
yeah, I mean it's good though, because you need to, and obviously this is getting more. I know it's getting another season. Is it only getting 2, or is it confirmed more?
Only 2. Apparently, they said they were originally going to do 4.
Okay.
But it may have been cut by Disney.
Right.
Or it might have been Tony Gilroy's choice, because Tony Gilroy did say that if we end up doing 4 or 5 seasons, Diego Luna's going to look about 50 years old.
Yeah.
And will not look convincing enough to play a young Cassian.
Yes, because you need to, obviously, somehow. This leads into Rogue One.
That's where Better Call Saul kind of falls flat. It's not to go and blow out Better Call Saul.
Yeah.
But I love Better Call Saul. It's amazing. But the one thing where it fails as a prequel is everyone looks really old.
Yes. But yeah, this obviously has to somewhat lead into Rogue One.
Kirk. I love you, but...
Rogue One comes after this. So there needs to be some connections to Rogue One of, these people coming in for a couple episodes. That's that person. That's how they, know each other.
I expected, we get Saw Gerrera.
We do.
Who were played by Forrest.
Who was, coming through everything currently.
Yeah, goodness, he's in everything. You can't get rid of him.
They can't.
Rebels,
Bad
Jedi
Batch.
Fallen Order, Bad Batch, yeah. Bad Batch. This is like Saw Gerrera's time.
Yeah.
Saw Gerrera's a rarer property, Star Wars property, where Saw Gerrera isn't in it.
Saw Gerrera property.
Saw Gerrera property.
Yeah. But I love Saw Gerrera, man.
Yeah, I love him. You know what? I don't think he was originally supposed to be in Rogue One either. Originally, they had a rebel. No, I think at the time in the script, they had an older rebel who was leading these partisans, and who was Jin's sort of old mentor who abandons her, and it was written in to be Saw Gerrera. So it's like, we've got someone who can do this.
Yeah.
So which I think is a lot of why the story group exists and why the canon sort of editors exist, because there's also another character who appears before in Andor. Do you know who that person is? Who's not Mon Mothma Cassian or Forrest Whitaker's Saw Gerrera.
Oh God!
He's only in a couple of episodes. He's only in 2, like you say. He's only in 2 episodes. He's not Melshi. He's only in 2 episodes. He's not Tim either, because I know Tim's actor has played an X-Wing pilot before.
Tim has, yes.
And it's not Andy Serkis, who also plays Snoke. And Kino Loy isn't Snoke.
Okay. Oh God. Does he play a major character or not?
Not really.
Oh God. Okay.
He's in about 2 scenes, maybe 3.
Great. Is it a man or a woman?
Man.
Oh God. Trying to think of a random man.
I think he's in episodes 6 and 7. He might be in 7. He's 7 or 8.
Trying to think of a random man who appears in this. Wikipedia, help me out.
No, I don't think you'll get it.
What's his name?
If I say his name, you might know who he is.
Okay.
It is Colonel Wolf Yularen.
The name sounds familiar.
You'll know him when you look him
up. But
up.
I think I know the name because the name just sounds like a dumb name.
He's a fairly minor Star Wars character.
Of course, yes.
He's in A New Hope. He's killed on the Death Star.
How are you spelling his last name?
Wolf Yularen.
Yeah.
Yularen. And he's a colonel of the ISB. He is effectively one of the most highest-ranking officers of the ISB.
There he is.
He was an admiral in the Galactic Republic, served under Anakin Skywalker. He's in the Clone Wars. He's voiced by Tom Kane.
Okay. Yes. He's
the guy who says, General Skywalker, are you sure attacking the Separatist ship will draw General Grievous to the system? That kind of guy, you know.
To be fair, he's so niche. I only am getting Clone Wars pictures.
Nice.
That's all I'm getting.
In Andor. You're probably searching with the word Andor and you'll find him.
That's all I'm getting.
He's in the ISB uniform. He's got the epaulets and the big rank badge. He's a colonel in the ISB. He sounds different, obviously, because it's a different actor.
There he is.
And he gives the big speeches when the ISB leadership are concerned.
There's him and his mustache.
Colonel Sanders, baby. He's also in A New Hope. It's another actor again, but
okay.
He's effectively made his second live action debut in Andor with more to do with lines this time. He doesn't say anything in A New Hope. He's just a background extra, but with lines this time, we have Colonel Yularen, who gives it's a subtle enough nod to go, okay, I recognised him, obviously.
Yes.
And if you watch with closed captioning on, his name comes up.
Right, yeah.
So it is Yularen.
Yep.
Initially, I was a bit sceptical, but as soon as he sort of turned around and you saw the mustache in the White House, is that Colonel Yularen?
Yeah.
And it was. I was very happy to see him back. It's also another member of the Death Star meeting to appear in a Star Wars property recently, because in Rogue One, General Ramadi was in it as Tarkin's aide, who was another guy from the Death Star meeting, which is cool. Hopefully we're going to get maybe Admiral Motti or General Tagg. I know those actors have probably passed away by now, but maybe we'll get a recreation of them or someone to play them.
Here's a question.
Go ahead.
Because I, after watching Andor, did the usual thing that I do, which is jump onto social media or YouTube and see what other people have to say. One of the things that popped up that I didn't take into consideration, we'll get onto other issues sometimes like pacing or whatever, but one thing that people have mentioned is Andor is a really, really good series that has probably just come out at the wrong time.
Yeah, okay. Well, let's get into this. That's a good point, Corey. That's a very good point.
Because it's like what, the fifth, like TV Star Wars
show, that we've had. And we've had Kenobi, we've had Bad Batch.
You had Kenobi, which we liked, but was pretty pretty much hit and miss for some people.
Mostly miss for some people.
You've had Mandalorian,
which is a good hit. Season 1 and Season 2.
It peaked.
Very successful. Book of Boba Fett,
which again was
hit
a bit
and miss.
Yeah. And also Mandalorian was a completely new.
Yeah, it was a new property.
But then you had again like Book of Boba Fett. You had Obi-Wan. You've got Ahsoka coming out.
Yes.
So it's just new people, but it's like no one seems to be kind of. If this came out first,
right? And also, if you mean bad time, do you mean the fact that House of Dragon and Lord of the Rings?
Not just that.
I mean, came out at the same time, and Wednesday, and a lot of big series, a lot of big flagship title series for a lot of streaming services were coming out at this time.
It's that, and also if this came out like earlier, there would have been more eyes on Star Wars and Disney Plus. I think now people go, oh, it's another Star Wars TV thing, but it's not going to be good. Really, too many of them or whatever is.
Whereas this is kind of...
this is good.
It's kind of like a hidden gem in a way.
Yeah.
Because I know lots of people will disregard it. Like Cassian Andor, who's that guy?
Yeah.
Is that guy in Force Awakens? You know, it'll be a lot of that.
Yeah.
Who's this guy? Is he from The Last Jedi? I don't know.
Because literally, I remember when Obi-Wan was coming out, there was a trailer was on TV, and someone I know was like, oh, but I swear we do a Star Wars TV show every single year now. There's too many. I'm like, one would do, you're not wrong.
Yeah.
But I'm like, if they've done this before, more people would have seen it, and actually more people would have liked it.
Yeah.
But we didn't, and now it's like, it's really good.
Andor is it's an incredible television. People have said that one criticism I've heard is it's a good TV show. It's not a good Star Wars show. Would you believe that?
I would agree half and half. If you are,
how so?
If you are like, okay, my mum and my mum and my dad and don't know my brother, but they like Star Wars, they like the original 3, and they don't mind the prequels, and they have seen some of the sequels and they don't mind them. But if I sat them down and put on Andor, they wouldn't enjoy it, or they probably won't enjoy it because it's not lightsabers, battles, and Jedis and whatever. So on half of it, I can kind of get it, because I'm like, it's not what you expect Star Wars to be. However, I like the fact that not all things in Star Wars have to be battles and ships and Jedis and whatever.
Me too. There's a show coming out next year called Skeleton Crew, which you've probably heard about, which is about pretty much like a group of orphans in the Star Wars galaxy kind of scavenging and running around and going on like hijinks, which doesn't sound very lightsaber. It could be, but it doesn't sound very lightsabers and so because it's not connected to the Skywalker saga with inverted quotes. It's not connected to the Skywalker saga, the story of Luke Skywalker and the Sith against the Jedi.
Yeah,
it falls by the wayside for people.
Yeah. See, that's the issue. It's like if you tell someone, I mean, I don't like Tarantino much, but if you told someone, okay, right, we're going to watch Hateful Eight. Oh, what is it? Oh, it's a Western. They're going to think, oh, cool, cowboys, guns, Wild West, desert. Hateful Eight is like in one room for the whole thing. Yeah. But it is a Western, technically. But it's not what people expect. And I feel like this is the same thing.
No.
You told someone it's Star Wars, it's not what people are going to think.
You're going to go into it, This is even though I appreciate the very bold take this series does.
Yeah.
I appreciate we're going to go on to pacing, sure thing. Mm-hmm. It's spaced into
pretty much 3 arcs.
No, isn't it 4?
Maybe 4.
4 3-episode arcs?
Yeah.
That's 12, isn't it? No, it's not. That's
4 will be 12.
Right.
4 episodes is 3 arcs. 3 episodes is 4 arcs.
Right. Okay. So it's split into arcs of 3.
Yeah.
So every third episode is a big climax, like the job on Aldani, the skirmish on Ferrix, the finale, the breakout on Narkina 5. Those are the 4 big events, right? That's what it goes through in each of the arcs. So when you're watching the episodes, you're thinking, right, well, especially when you get into it, after the first 2 arcs, after the Ferrix one and the Aldani one, you're on Narkina 5 and you're like, right, I know they're going to break out in, like, I don't know, the next 2 episodes. Yeah. So let's see what happens, what can develop next.
Well, that's the thing. You just sat there going, well, if they're going to be on here for like 2 episodes, what's going to happen in 2 episodes?
And well, yeah, exactly. And you know that next episode that they're going to break out. That the famous line, which is Cassian's asking Kino Loy all the time, how many guards on there on each level? How many guards are on each level? And Kino's like, I'm not going to say. Keep your head down. Work on program all the time. He's trying to tough it out. He just says if we just keep doing our shifts, they'll let us out.
Yep.
If we just keep working, keep completing our shifts, they'll let us out.
Yep.
And after PORD, they're not letting anyone out, the Doctor says, who is also Harry Potter's dad. Did you know that?
No, I did not.
The actor that plays the Doctor and on the Narkina 5 prison, the same guy that plays Harry Potter's dad in the Harry Potter films. He after Olaf, the older gentleman, unfortunately has a heart attack and has a stroke and passes away. The Doctor says that no one's getting out.
Yes.
There was a man on level 4 who got released, and they just put him back on level 2. And level 2 found out, and they killed all of them. It happened. That's what he says. That's what he says, because everyone knows there's something really wrong on 2. I love that scene. Because they can because all the prisoners are in these huge clear tubes, right? Yep. And they can communicate to each other through the walls using hand signals. Yeah. And there's they're all stood there one day, and they're not going onto the shift floors, and they're communicating. And the guy who's the taller guy, I thought his name was, is doing the hand signals, and he says something's really wrong on 2. Yeah. Level 2's there's something up. There's something's gone wrong. And then Kino bursts in and he goes, "It takes all day for you to figure out what's going on the other side of the building," like that. And I'm like, Andy Serkis is bloody great. He's absolutely fantastic.
Yep.
If you give him time to go, he will go.
Yeah.
He's straight fire. I love Andy Serkis.
I mean, the first series overall is good. Mm. It does have some pacing issues. There's a
bit of pacing, yeah.
Other various issues as well. But
sorry, I just like that. Really, that's just a great moment for me. So I was just describing that moment because it's really fun.
But there's a second series coming out. Yeah. So again,
not that the murder of an entire prison floor is fun. I'm just saying that I was enjoying Andy Serkis' performance throughout the series.
They could always.
He can't swim though.
No, he can't. I can't swim either.
What? You'd be useless on Narkina 5, Corey. You're not breaking out of that prison, are you? I'm breaking out, Corey. I'm breaking out.
I can float. And I can doggy paddle, so it'll take me a while.
Why didn't he try? Why didn't Kino Loy try to swim? If I was Andor, I'd be like, just go, try. Come on, man.
But Series 2 could have improvements. It could have, things that are doing a bit better.
What do you want from Season 2? Because apparently what we hear is that it's 12 episodes again. They're going to do the same thing, and every 3 episodes will be a year leading up to Rogue One. So
I don't mind
5 years.
I don't mind that. Because if it gets it closer to the events of Rogue One, fine. Completely fine.
Because it's 5 BBY, that's 5 years before the Battle of Yavin. We see that in the first episode.
Because
so we have 4 arcs to get 5 years, and that last year will be Rogue One.
You see, that's the thing now. Because it's set in years, the arcs can have more in them.
More stuff in them, exactly.
And so that's fine. As long as it's...
It won't just be one episode of, we're on this prison, we build this thing... how many guards are there on each level. But then that moment when we get where Kino Loy responds, never more than 12. Yes. We know he's in on the plan. We know he wants to break out.
Do you know what I want? Okay. I want this to literally finish
at moments before Rogue One.
Exactly. The day before. So you can turn on Rogue One, it just continues.
Amazing.
It just continues.
I mean, obviously, if you've read Rogue One Catalyst, which is the novel which focuses on Galen Erso and Jyn Erso and her wife Lyra, you see what happens and how they get to the planet they were on when Krennic finds them. But I feel like we could get to that point where, on Cassian's perspective, what was Cassian doing at the start of Rogue One? I think he was at Yavin.
Yeah.
Where we see, Mon Mothma in a Return of the Jedi outfit. We see Cassian. General Draven could probably turn up. Love to see General Draven again.
Yep.
General Antok Merrick, the guy with the mustache. Remember him? Mustache X-Wing pilot guy in the blue suit. Admiral Raddus, possibly. Me, personal wants, Director Krennic. I know Ben Mendelsohn was doing work for Secret Wars.
Yeah.
It's highly possible we could have done stuff for Andor or something. I'd love to see director Krennic, Emperor Palpatine. They mention him a lot in Andor, which is nice again. And just, I like how you get the Emperor's personality from people talking about him.
Yeah.
They say that they have the discussion in Mon Mothma's sort of apartment condo place, whether like the Emperor's reactive, yes, he's arrogant, yes, but we're talking about political policy here, not speeches or something like that. And I really like that, where you sort of get what the Emperor's like, even if you've never heard of who Palpatine is.
Yes.
Even if you don't know who Emperor Palpatine is, you know what he's like because of how people refer to him in this series.
And also, but if this is still connected to the Skywalker saga, it is still a connection. It's just not the main 9.
It's not the main 9.
It still takes part in that timeline. It is in that time.
It's in that timeline. Yeah, Luke Skywalker's on Tatooine while this is happening.
So it's not complete. It's not like what's that prequel TV thing coming out like next year or 2 years?
Oh, the Acolyte.
The one set before. Like, it's not like that.
It's called the Acolyte. It's going to be about the Sith, the Night Sisters.
Yeah,
the Sith Night Sisters.
Yeah, it's not like that, or it's not like what else have we had that's like
it's set during the High
kind of
Republic.
completely standalone? Have we had anything else that's kind of?
Not really. I suppose you could mean the High Republic sort of stuff, but that's all kind of books and novels.
Yeah.
There's never been anything that's sort of been set incredibly far away, unless you're sort of counting certain episodes of the Clone Wars. But even that's sort of the main characters were Anakin and Obi-Wan and Ahsoka.
Yeah.
There's only ever certain episodes where the offshoots, like, I don't know, C-3PO and R2-D2 go on a planet adventure, which is still Skywalker Saga.
Yeah.
Because C-3PO and R2-D2, who were in Kenobi.
I mean, it is good, but they've taken Rogue One, which was completely new people, and
expanded it.
Yeah, it's just, tell a bit more of a story.
People wanted that. People wanted more of...
So this is what I was
hoping for a Baze and Chirrut show.
And when did Rogue One come out?
2016.
Yeah. Bit late.
Yeah, a bit late for it now. Sorry, Donnie Yen, you're in John Wick 4.
It is. Yes.
He is, yeah. And the guy who plays the Baze isn't allowed to work for Disney anymore.
No, because he
spoiled that Chirrut dies.
I love that.
Do you?
I
mean, I don't love someone being unemployed.
No. But in hindsight, I find that moment funny.
Right.
I was going to say bring Chirrut back, but he's dead.
He's pretty much dead, yes.
Unless we
could have him in Rogue One Season 2. Easy. Get him on Jeddah.
Yeah. Andor Season 2, Murray.
Andor, sorry, not Rogue One
Rogue One
Season 2. Rogue One Season 2. Rogue One 2, guys.
What would that even be?
It would be about the Bothans.
Yeah.
Stealing the plans for the second Death Star.
Yeah, I guess so.
Because Mothma says many Bothans died to bring us this information. And then it's revealed that Palpatine actually let the plans go in some way, in some form. We don't know, actually.
Yeah.
Because there is one of the periods that isn't really expanded.
Yeah.
It's between, strangely enough, it's between episodes 1 and 2. We haven't had much.
Yeah.
Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones. And Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
We've had it in sort of comics and books and stuff, but not much or any material that's actually based like a show or something like that. Which I'd love.
Maybe
or a film. I'd like a Rogue One 2. Rogue 2. Starring the Bothans. Get some Bothans in there. Even though I feel like another criticism Andor was not enough aliens. Do you believe on that? Star Wars is a big galaxy. Not many aliens.
I mean, there wasn't.
But there was. There was no alien characters with lines.
Yeah.
Apart from like little extras, you'd have a little bit here and there.
Yeah. But again, this is.
They did have aliens. There were no aliens in the prison in Narkina 5.
Yeah.
People justified that as maybe the Empire has segregated prisons,
probably,
which is very Empire.
Yeah.
Like this is a prison for human men, which it was, which could be true.
Yes.
I see the Empire doing that.
It's again. I didn't really know. I kind of noticed it, but I wasn't like, I don't get to see blue people. You know.
I think there was actually a blue person in it. I think there was a Pantoran in it. Yes.
But it's like, it's just what it is. Not again. It's just one of things. It's not normal Star Wars.
There were characters from The Last Jedi in this. Strangely enough.
Yeah, it was.
I watched a video by a guy called Star Wars Explained. Shout out to him.
Yeah.
Who did an episode with 135 Easter eggs from Andor. And some of it was characters from Canto Bight, the casino. Canto Bight gets a name drop. Mon Mothma mentions it. But there are characters from the Canto Bight casino in Andor in the party as that Mon Mothma sets with her husband, who is just a right bureaucrat. Mon Mothma's husband, who has been mentioned before, she has a daughter as well, believes that these imperial aides like Ars Dangor and Sly are fun people.
Yeah.
But really, they're increasing tax on Gorman. There's a lot of mention of the Gorman, the people of Gorman, right? The Gorman people. Now, they're in fact massacred in what's referred to as sort of the Gorman massacre. It's what drives Mon Mothma to leave the Senate and formally create the Rebel Alliance. We get smatterings of that here, teasings of that here, where she says, "Oh well, they've cut the Gorman shipping lanes," and she makes a speech in the Senate which no one's interested about because because Aldhani happens at the very same time.
Yes.
It's a lot of nods and there's a few Easter eggs and references, but mainly it's sort of the commentary of the series itself.
Yeah.
But you realise that the political system that Mon Mothma knows is falling apart and being ripped apart by these people who want nothing but a dictatorship and a regime where ignorance is bliss.
The thing I'll say about Andor before we kind of get onto the closing thoughts and whatever, it's I think overall it's really good. If you're just a fan of Star Wars for pew pew, lightsaber, it's probably not your thing. But it's a bit of fresh air. It's a bit different.
Yeah.
It
is definitely that. It is a breath of fresh air for certain people. It's a very slow breath of fresh air, but it is a breath of fresh air.
Yeah. Again, hopefully, second series can.
But didn't that Arrestor cruiser look pretty cool? Wasn't that one action ship scene amazing?
You see,
because you waited 11 episodes to get there.
See, at least you might not get some aliens, but you get some cool ships.
The cool action. When the action does happen, let me tell you, when action does happen, it's great. Yes. The one way out scene, they're all going one way out. What? They're running out of the prison. They've all got the guns. They're shooting all the guards, and you feel like you're in there as well. You feel like you're in the prison break as well. You're just taking the chance and fighting back against the Empire. Even Marva says, "Fight the Empire," a big speech, because unfortunately Marva passes away in the series, and
right at the end.
Right at the end, and her funeral is held in the finale on Rick's Road, where she's turned into a brick and placed was it on the road or in a building?
I can't remember.
I think it was on the road.
Yeah,
wasn't it?
I think so.
Where she's placed in the brick of the road. Yeah. And she says she always goes up to that hotel where the Empire's based. And she makes the big speech from B2 Emo, who is a amazing droid companion. I love him.
Yep.
That's the cute little toy for all the kids.
Yeah.
B2.
There's your merch.
There's your merch. B2 Emo. And B2 has a holographic projector of Marva's speech, and Marva says, "Fight the Empire.
Yes.
Fight back against the regime. Fight back against oppression."
Yep.
You got to oppress the oppressors, in the words of Chris Motionless.
Yes.
But then that's what sparks the.
Yep.
Again, the spark, the light, the fire. That's what Poe Dameron says.
Yes. Because as well, obviously at the start, Cassian has no
interest.
Just no interest at all.
No interest at all in fighting the Empire.
Doesn't want to be
against
involved.
them. Yeah. He never actually finds his sister either.
True.
He's looking for his sister from Kenari. He never finds her.
True.
People are saying it could be Dedra Meero.
Yeah.
We don't know who his sister is.
I'm assuming it will get at least tied up in a bow in next season of what has happened.
Of where everyone is.
Hopefully.
We know Cyril rescues because Dedra arrives on Ferrix for the funeral, and she's with She's got Death Troopers.
Yeah.
She gets mauled by the mob in the rebel attack. Not really, the rebel resistance. The resistance of Ferrix, and all the stormtroopers are fighting all the people. And Brasser is just headbutting stormtroopers and whacking people with a brick. And that guy, the MVP, that guy on the tower with the hammers.
Yes.
Who's like doing he's like the rooster in the morning.
Yeah,
he's doing
he's banging
them every day in the morning.
It's for the cathedral bells.
Cathedral bells, yeah. And he kicks that. He does the "This is Sparta" kick. Kicks that stormtrooper as he's coming up the stairs off the top of the bell tower. That was an amazing moment.
Again, whoever thought of that idea is fantastic.
Yeah, so we need to see where Luthen gets up to. Obviously, we know Luthen takes Cassian to wherever. Probably Yavin 4, maybe the established rebel base at this point.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's not a couple of years till the rebel alliance is actually formed, but maybe they do have a base. There is a Masasi group who rely on General Dodana from New Hope. Does have a rebel group on Yavin 4 at this point. We see where, obviously, Dedra Meero goes.
Yep.
Do they go back to the Empire with Cyril Khan? What happens there with them two?
There's a lot of places it can go.
A lot of places it can go after this. I think the future is bright for Andor, and I really hope the second season is good. It's going to take us 2 years to get there.
Yes, 2024.
2024, we're going to get our second season of Andor. But I'm incredible. I was very happy with the series.
It's pretty good. It's again, it's a breath of fresh air.
Full of good moments, yeah.
Probably, again, I can't remember what I gave Book of Prefer Obi-Wan, but it's one of the better Star Wars things that have come out recently.
I will give it... I know now Rogue One got a 10.
It did, yes.
I'm going to give it an 8.5.
I'm in agreement.
Right, okay, if you're getting 5, I will chop mine up to a 9.
Okay. Because I think I gave Obi-Wan or Book of Boba Fett like a 7.5, 8 tops, and this is better for that for me.
Yeah.
But it's not perfect.
If you give it an 8.5, I will happily give it a 9.
It's not perfect, and it's not near perfect either.
Right.
If it can condense the second series and get the pacing a bit better, then this could be a 9 or a 9.5. But first, it's still good for a
first
season.
season of a show. Of course.
And
it hits you with some bombs.
I gave Rings of Power a 7.5. You gave it a 7.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. Fair enough. I'll give Andor a 9. You give it an 8.5. As for a weekly rec, Corey, what do you have in store for us?
So, I had an idea. Okay. Now, I'm going to be honest with the audience here. So, when it comes to weekly recs, especially the Star Wars, because we covered Star Wars like 20 times now.
Yes. Very popular topic for the real show.
It is. We have a whole month dedicated to it.
We do.
I'm at a point where I'm just plucking like any related recs that I can find. So I had an idea. I was going to recommend something. Now, you mentioned earlier today about the Andor 1975 opening.
Yeah. Shout out to this. Shall I just plug this video? This isn't a weekly rec, by the way.
No, it's not.
But the Oral Nauts YouTube channel, who does nice dubbing and like fan videos and whatnot, posted a video called Andor 1975 Intro Edition, where they basically give Andor like a 70s sci-fi TV show vibe intro with footage and whatnot and the cast members. It's really fun. It's a good video. It's only about a minute long. Watch it.
Now, you mentioned that. There was a random video that I saw online. It's only like a minute long. Which is the Doctor Who intro, but with Black Sabbath's Children of the Grave in the background. Because Children of the Grave weirdly sounds like the Doctor Who theme, but only if you play it on the intro.
Right.
If you think of it on its own, it does not. If you play it with the intro, it sounds like Doctor Who.
And of course, Black Sabbath for radio listeners was
we played it at the start,
and
we also found out
this episode will air. The episode will air on Ozzy Osbourne's birthday. Correct. 74 years old.
Yes.
Happy birthday, Ozzy.
Yes.
Big fans here at the Real Show.
We are indeed. So,
what will you give this video? Whose channel is this? Can you find this?
Let me find it.
All right. You probably should have had it up before now, but
it's fine. It will only take me 2 seconds. Doctor
Well, Corey's looking this up. Intro. I'm just going to say, I'm a big fan of Ozzy Osbourne. Love him. Sister lived in Birmingham for a while. Ozzy Osbourne's a Birmingham man.
He is.
He turned up at the Birmingham Olympics. Big fan of Mr. Osbourne. Not so much of Sharon, but Ozzy's pretty cool.
What's wrong with Sharon?
I don't know. I get bad vibes.
Where is it?
I just like Ozzy. Ozzy's a really wholesome man. And despite the fact he's done so much stuff in his life, he's still kicking about today is a miracle. More power to him.
It is one of those cases where it's like, how?
How does he do it?
How? Where is it?
He just lives rock and roll all his life.
I will find this. I will find him.
As far as Andor goes,
yes.
I was very happy with the series. Can I just gush about something for 1 second?
Yeah, go for it.
That scene where Luthen's Fondor Hallcraft let me know when you found it, by the way. Yes. That scene where Luthen's Fondor Hallcraft is fighting the Arrestor Cruiser is absolutely amazing. I love the model for that Arrestor Cruiser. It looked great. It was used in Solo as well, probably, but they've kind of shortened the back of it. It has the great bridge tower, has those satellite dishes that are used for big tractor beams. It was actually originally Colin Campbell's original design for a Star Destroyer.
Yep.
And it was the Star Destroyers would dispense TIE fighters out the side like you see.
I've got it.
I love that. Oh, you found it? Okay.
Yes. It's literally just type in Doctor Who intro Black Sabbath.
Okay.
And it will be one
Whose channel is it from? Can you sort them out?
John Smith.
John Smith.
7.
Yeah. Oh, it's Doctor Who reference, surely. And
yes, because that's the name he uses.
Yeah, indeed.
As his human name.
John Smith 7.
John Smith 7.
What's the video called? People can find it.
Doctor Who intro Black Sabbath. Specifically, it's Children of the Grave.
What are you gonna rate it?
Oh God. What number do I give it?
I'm gonna rate it here. John Smith 7's gonna be very unhappy if you give him a bad real rating.
7 for John Smith 7.
Okay, 7 for John Smith 7. We hope you enjoyed our review of Star Wars Andor. A lot of good takes in this episode. I'm very happy.
You
happy? Having a good time?
I think it's a solid episode.
Yeah, very good. So we hope you enjoyed our review of Andor, and we'll catch you next time. It's a goodbye from me, goodbye, and a goodbye from Corey. May the Force be with you, and Corey.
Goodbye.